up guys, Caleb here, and today I am entering another mock contest. And before we start, I do want to say that my brother Sam just bought the LEGO Star Wars Millennium Falcon, so he's going to be building that soon. And in about a week, I will have the review for that set posted, so make sure you keep your eye out for that. But I'm sure what you're all here for is wondering why I entered another mock contest. It started with a LEGO Brit entered in his own mock for this guy named Red Bricks Productions, and apparently he was having a mock contest, so I checked his channel out. He's pretty cool, he's got some neat stuff, so I subscribed to him, and I saw a video that was talking about a mock contest he was having, and he was basically having a LEGO Star Wars mock contest, but instead of doing a microfighter, it could be anything Star Wars. The only rule for the size of it is that it had to be within a 48 by 48 base plate. So this is pretty much a 48 by 48, technically speaking with the border. This is 50, but this is technically speaking a 48 by 48 base plate. So I needed to build a mock that wasn't bigger than this. So I kind of wanted to go with something really big. Now if I learned anything from the LEGO Brits contest is that maybe I should think of something out of the box. Last time I went with a Razor Crest microfighter, and a lot of other people went with a Razor Crest microfighter. So I wanted to build something that was more original and more, I knew people weren't really going to make it as much, so I didn't really want to do anything with Mandalorian, and I definitely didn't want to do anything with 501st Troopers because I was pretty sure other people would be doing 501st Troopers. However, my idea came to the planet Jakku from The Force Awakens in Episode 7, and I have always thought it's sort of a cool planet. It's like Tatooine, but it's a lot more run down, and so I decided to build a mock on Jakku, basically. So here's what I built. Now I decided for it to take place before Episode 7, so this is pretty much before Rey encounters BB-8 and Finn and all that. So this is like a year or two before that, simply because I didn't quite have the right minifigures. I didn't have a BB-8 or a Finn or an Unkar Plutt to actually put in it and make it an Episode 7 version. So this is pretty much based off, like, you know, before she met all of them. That way I could also make my own original minifigures and make my own original story to go with it. And so, without further ado, I'm going to show you everything. I guess we can start at the front here where I put Rey pretty much walking into it. I gave her some really cool like footprints through the sand, and that turned out pretty neat. So you actually just have her pretty much walking into town. We have an alien who's a little drunk, just sitting over there taking a break. We have a crate, and then we get to the first shop. So I did actually include pretty much a story behind this first shop. They're actually illegally selling this stuff called coaxium in these blue tubes, and they're pretty much illegally selling it because it's illegal here, but nobody quite knows how they get their hands on this coaxium. They do know it comes in these crates that's pretty much full of coaxium, so the coaxium comes in these big crates, and that's where it's getting from, but nobody knows where these crates are coming from. Now near the back we also have a guy with this like razor hot like knife on the end of it, and that turned out pretty cool, but basically he's the one that is providing coaxium to the shop over here, and how he basically does it is you can actually take the roof off here just to, you know, get some space out, but you can actually take the crates of coaxium and push them through this secret spot in this wall to the inside of the shop. It literally just goes through a small track on here, and you can push the trapdoor back down, and that is how he gets the coaxium inside of the shop. You can see there's even a rack with a bit of coaxium being tested to make sure it doesn't overheat and explode, but that part turned out really cool. You can see he's got a track, and that's how he gets it and sells it to people illegally through the secret trapdoor. It's somewhat inspired off the 2014 or 2015 Detective Shop Modular. They had like a secret passageway that you could sneak cookies into. So I kind of took that inspiration off of it and made it so you could sneak crates of coaxium through the wall into him for him to sell it to people, and I think that turned out maybe my favorite little feature of this mock. Now, as I said, near the back you have the guy who provides coaxium along with a little skeleton here, which turned out pretty cool. He only has one leg and his foot got chomped off, and that actually turned out pretty cool. You have almost like a cape or like a flag or something blowing in the wind. Over here is actually an engine for like a speeder, but it literally sits in there like loosely. It actually sits in there, and you can literally just pop it in the spot there, and I think that part turned out pretty cool, just a little engine that's, you know, sitting in the sand. Over here, although it's a little bit harder to get to, we actually have Unkar Plutt's shop, and unfortunately I didn't quite have an Unkar Plutt minifigure, so he's pretty much taking a break, but here I noticed in the movie that you can actually see almost mesh wiring like between it, so people don't actually hurt them. So I put like a jail bar, but pretty much actually if you want it to get up to provide to customers, you can literally just put it up to provide to customers. So that part turned out pretty cool. You can actually see them like in there like that, and the roof is literally just like a track on here that turned out pretty neat. There's also like a tire that's on a rope here. There's 2 ropes, but this one has a tire, and that turned out pretty cool. Now in the back you actually have a guy pretty much running Uncle Palette's shop. You have another little crate with no coaxium. In the back I actually put like 2 droid heads on a rack, like he's selling those all beat up to people, and then there's an old beat up droid just sitting here. So this whole interior actually turned out really cool for like a little shop for you to sell junk to. I honestly really like how the interior of this shop turned out. There's also a really cool like piece, almost like a grill piece going into the ground that turned out really cool. It looks like the sand's just sort of spilling into it, but that's literally like attached to the floor. You can actually see the white of the paper like beneath it. So that part turned out pretty neat. Over here we have a little fire pit and just like a little basket that you can have some stuff, but you have a guy kind of warming up by the fire here. Over here on this side you have pretty much the third and final shack with a door over here that leads to pretty much like a table and a hangout spot. I put this really cool light in, but you can have 2 people just kind of hanging out, almost like Mos Eisley Cantina style, but it's more of just, you know, a hangout slash bar spot, and it ended up having this really cool like ladder technique to actually get it into place there, which turned out pretty cool. That's about everything in my massive Jakku mock. So I am in fact entering this into Red Brick Productions mock contest, and I'm really excited to see who wins. I would highly encourage you to enter because he's a really cool guy, and there's a lot of mocks going to be entering, and if you're just like a small YouTuber that's just getting into Legos, then enter it in and see what happens, because this is going to be really interesting. There's 2 categories, the UK category and then anywhere else in the world category, and you could win $20 in Amazon cash, so I'd highly encourage you to enter his mock contest. But this is going to be entered into his contest, so make sure to check out his video and like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.